Hey guys, what is going on? It is Sam here. Welcome to this video. So this video is just going to be about a Shattered Heart minigame, sort of guide in a sense of how I collect all my rocks and everything like that. So if you clicked on this guide to quickly get to a certain skill, then feel free to just click on one of the annotations on the screen now for the skill that you need, and it will skip all of the unnecessary things that you don't want to see. So first of all, you want to get your hands on a statue collection bag, as this is going to be really helpful when collecting all your rocks, because as you can see if I open it, you need to collect all of these rocks here, and they don't all actually fit in your invent, so it's nice to have this bag just to store them all in, and you can see, in an easy view or an easy window what rocks you need to collect and what rocks you don't. Yeah, the way to get that is to head to Varrock in the museum in Varrock and speak to one of the guys there, and he will give it to you. On the screen right now you can see that this guy here will give it to you, and yeah, I definitely recommend to get it if you are going to be doing this. So the way I'm going to plan out this video is to collect the rocks in the order of the collection bag. So that's going to start off with agility, then move on to Herblore, Thieving, etc. You get my point. I'm going to finish it off with Hunter. There are other ways you can do it, like the most efficient, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to keep it in the way of the bag. So first of all, it's going to be agility. So what I'm going to do now is head to a agility course, and we can start collecting our first two pieces. Okay then, so the agility course I'm going to use is the Barbarian Outpost one, as you can complete it fairly fast and it gives you the most XP from doing so. It doesn't really matter what agility course you do because they're all roughly the same, and you get your rocks from completing it at the final stage. So do whatever one you can. I'd probably advise one which gives you the most XP, so whilst you're getting your rocks you can get some XP at the side, and yeah, it's pretty easy. So just go around the course. It can take a couple of times. With agility rocks it does vary. Sometimes you can get them really fast, other times it's incredibly slow, but you just got to keep at it, and you'll eventually get them all. So for the Herblore rock, all you've got to do is clean some grimy Guams, and the good thing about this is that you can do it so fast in your invent, you should be able to get both of the rocks at a reasonable pace. So after Herblore it is Thieving, and again this is quite an easy one to do. All you've got to do is pickpocket the Master Farmer, and it doesn't really take too long until you get both rocks. So just keep doing this until you get both of them in your invent, and then you're good to go on to the next one. And as you can see from this clip, I actually got both of them roughly around the same time, pretty much like 2 seconds in between, so that's kind of cool. So the next skill after Thieving is crafting. Now this is actually quite an easy one to do, just like the other ones. All you got to do is get some leather and start making some coifs. Now I recommend to do this as it only requires one leather for every item, and with rocks the more actions you do, the bigger the chance of actually getting a rock. So just keep doing this. It usually doesn't take too long for crafting, and yeah, you should get them fairly fast. So after crafting there is runecrafting, and there's many ways to actually do this. One way I like to do is to use my Wicked Hood every day, as it provides you with some rune essence which you can use on the altars, and it gives you a good chance of getting some rocks. But if you don't get any rocks from it, like I did on the video now, then what I like to do is just teleport to Runespan, which conveniently has a teleport option on the Wicked Hood. And what you want to do here is just siphon on the S-lings and the nodes. You will need some rune essence though, but you can just pick that up from, it's like floating around, so just click on it and you'll get some in your invent. But this doesn't really take too long to get, because as you can see I do get a bit of XP, pretty much every second, and with it like that you can gather the rocks fairly fast. So the next skill after runecrafting is mining, and again this one is a really easy one to get, as you've just got to pretty much mine pure essence. So you can do this at the Magic Guild or the place in Varrock, and if you've got an Abyssal Titan as well, it can speed it up quite a lot, as if you don't know this, the scroll it has sends all of your pure essence in your invent to the bank. So just imagine that you don't need to run back to the bank or anything like that. As you can see on the screen, I just got to use the scroll, and I can start mining full invent again, and because of that this rock doesn't really take too long to get. So just keep at it, and yeah, you'll get the rock. And like I said, if you've got the Abyssal Titan it is a lot faster. So the next skill is smithing, and what you want to do for this is to simply make iron knives. So you've got to purchase some iron bars, but the good thing about making iron knives is that they usually you usually can sell them on the GE. So even though you do lose a bit of money, it's really not that much, and you can get the rocks fairly fast from this, as you get to make 5 iron knives every single iron bar. So if you think of that in one invent, you're doing quite a lot of actions, and I usually always find that this goes quite fast. So keep at it and you'll get them all, and yeah, we now move on to the next skill. So this skill is fishing, and all you got to do for this is fish the monkfish located in Piscataris. And the good thing about this is that you can usually get them fairly fast. And I'm talking about the fish, which means you've got a good chance of getting the rocks fast as well. And there's also a bank located just southwest of where I'm standing, so if you do get a full invent, just going to quickly run down there and then come back again, and you can get, you know, another invent on the go straight away. So just keep at this and you should find the rocks come to you reasonably fast. Now, cooking is a really easy skill to do. All you've got to do is head to a ranged or a bonfire and simply start cooking any fish. Now, I like to use the cooking guild as my place to do it at because it has a bank literally like right next to the range, which makes it really convenient for getting my rocks. So just keep at it. You know, always bring out more fish if you need to, and you should find the rocks come into your invent or into your bag really fast. So similar to cooking, firemaking pretty much needs you just to withdraw some logs out of your bank and use it on a bonfire. Now I like to do this in World 48 as it's like a special world for sort of loads of high level players to use bonfires and get up their firemaking and stuff like that. Plus there's literally a bank right next to the spot, so I quickly do this, and yeah, it really doesn't take me too long to get the rocks into my bag. It's quite a relaxing skill to do it too as well. So yeah, firemaking is good. It's fast and you get some decent XP at it too. I recommend maybe just using maybe like maples or something because they're cheap, they give good XP. Unless you've got loads of cash and you want to, you know, buy some magics or something, then, you know, definitely do that if you want to get some XP whilst doing it. So woodcutting is a very basic skill. I simply like to just chop ivy as it's very AFKable. Plus it gives you some decent XP too. I don't know if you know, but it gives you 333 XP, which is good. I like that. And like I said, if it's AFKable and you're getting that much XP, it's always good. So just do this, and yeah, you should find the rocks coming to your invent fast. So yeah. So another skill which I like to complete in my player import is fletching. So all you got to do for this is to fletch shieldbows. Now I have a load of maple logs stored in my bank, so I simply just make maple shieldbows, and because there's so many actions in an invent, fletching is quite a fast one to do. So just simply do this, and you can always sell your shieldbows afterwards with just a little bit of cash at the side, but just keep at it and you'll get the rocks, and yeah, it's all good. Like I said again, with the similar to the firemaking, if you have got money and you want to sort of get some XP at the side, or a little bit more XP, then you could just maybe buy like magic logs and fletch them into magic shield bows just for a bit more XP. Now farming is fairly interesting as it allows you to do anything pretty much to try and get your rocks. However, I think the best way is to simply just plant potatoes, as you can yield quite a lot in a single trip. I think in 2 or 3 trips I yielded about 300 potatoes, which is pretty much 300 chances of getting the rock. So simply buy some potato seeds. I like to use super compost too, just so it might stop them from becoming diseased, but no, just plant them and come back sometime later and then just harvest it, and you should find you get the rocks fairly fast. So construction is next, and I have to say personally this is my most hated one, because usually whenever I do it, it always takes me ages to get the rocks. However, it's kind of funny this time because I was actually recording and I got them fairly fast, which was a change, but usually when I do it, it does take a while. But for this I recommend to use or to make oak chairs. So you do this on a workbench and just make oak chair flat packs. And yeah, it's quite repetitive in terms of, you know, having to do a lot of clicking. Like you've got to get some more oak planks from your butler and things like that, but just keep at it and you will eventually get it. And yeah, please tell me as well in the comments what's your most hated skill. For me it's construction, but what's yours? Anyway, moving on to the next skill. So the final skill of the collection bag is Hunter, and luckily this one isn't too bad. Now I recommend to do Falconry. If you don't know what it is, pretty much you go to the Piscataris Hunter area, I think that's what it's called, or it might just be called the Falconry area, I'm not too sure, but you can check on the map. But all you got to do is purchase a falcon for 500 GP just to use, and then you just got to click on the kebits and keep doing this until you see this strange rock in your bag. Now I recommend to have the bone crusher with you for this, because if you do, then it will bury all the bones you get from the kebits, and it just saves that bit of invent space so you can catch more in one go. And trust me, it will help a lot, because even though this one's like fairly easy, it does get quite click intensive. So if you have got bone crusher, then definitely bring it. If you haven't, then don't worry, it's not too bad, but I'm just going to say that the bone crusher is fairly helpful. So now that you've finally completed the bag and you've got them all in it, then what you want to do is come back to the Varrock Museum and empty it all out and add it to the plinth. Now the cool thing about this is that you actually do gain a bit of XP from it, actually 9.7k for every skill. Now this does depend on your skill level, so seeing as I'm 99 and everything, this is the maximum that you can get. However, it's still fairly good, seeing as you do kind of work hard to get them in the first place. You do get a bit of XP from that, so that's cool. But no, as you can see now, I attempt to finish the statue. However, the guy tells me that I can only do it once per week, and this is true. You can only actually build the statue once per week, and if you do attempt to do it, he'll just stop you. So, however, the good thing about it is that you can actually still collect the rocks for the next week. You just can't add it to the final one. So just come back a couple of days later and you'll be good to go. Now once you've actually completed the statue, you'll see a small cutscene, and Marius will actually give you a statue piece, which if you have two, you can actually add it to a plinth in your own house, which is pretty cool, I guess. Even though it doesn't really do anything, it's still kind of nice to have your own statue in your house. So once you've got two like I do, just teleport to your house and run to wherever you've built your plinth, which is usually in the study, so look for it. And as you can see, I've already started mine, but just add the two pieces to it and you'll gradually see that it gets bigger. But no, you do have to collect 30 in total, which is like 30 weeks, so it's quite a lot. However, it's kind of a nice thing to go for, and if you are going for trim, then this is a requirement. So that's going to be pretty much it for this guide. If it has helped you in any way, then please throw it a thumbs up, as I've worked so hard on this. It's actually taken me many hours in terms of editing it. And also subscribe if you haven't already for more guides like this. If you have got a suggestion for another guide that you want me to do, then please leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to do it. But that's going to be it for this guide, guys. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace out.